Howdy, y'all. Kevin here, but y'all know that. Cigar and whiskey talk today, as usual. About the only thing I had time for nowadays is I'm home on Mondays. That's when I do them. Any other time I'm out on the road. Today we're going to do a San Miguel by Gurka. And we're going to hit a little Bushmills Irish whiskey. Woo! Last week's episode, I knew I was going to get shit. I knew I was going to get a lot of messages. I actually expected to get many more nasty comments in the public comment section, but apparently a few of you didn't have cojones enough to go public with your opinion, maybe. But I got a lot of private messages on Facebook. Got in both my business account and my public and my personal account, and many of you believe I am way off base in my philosophy on tipping, and that's fine. You can have that opinion. I still do not have that opinion. None of your arguments were persuasive. The common argument was, you don't know what it's like being a server. You don't know, I do know. That was one of my very first jobs. I worked in a local pizza place. And I was hired preliminarily as a delivery driver. However, this was a very small place, and everybody did everything. I cooked, I prepped food, I waited on tables, I delivered pizzas, I delivered sandwiches, I delivered all kinds of stuff. And, yeah, I know exactly what it's like. A lot of my family are servers, and they share my opinion and your opinion both, according to who they are. So, here's the deal. Anything in the service industry, I understand that it's a crappy job. I understand that. But almost nobody forces anybody to take a job nowadays. I had one lady talking to me about, it's just slave labor. No, slave labor is when they come and club you in your bed and drag you in there and force you to work. That's slave labor. If you go and apply for a job that you know is shitty pay and shitty work conditions and all that kind of stuff, that's not slave labor. That's you picking it. Now, you're going to say, well, it's the only thing that's available. It's not the only thing that's available. You can get off your dead butt and go find something better. It may be the only thing available that you are willing to try, but it's not the only thing that's available. With that being said, I'm going to light my cigar. Not sure I poked enough in off the end of this one. I did. I was asked this past weekend at the class, don't you think the lighter throws off the flavor of your cigar? No, I don't. I've lit cigars off matches and lighters and those little jet lighters and the whole 9 yards and lighters they make just specifically for cigars. I really can't tell the difference. I'll be honest with you. Maybe my palate is not refined enough to tell what the difference is. I don't know. All right, what do we want to talk about this week? We talked enough about last week already. And I'll try to make today shorter because last one was a long one, wasn't it? Sorry. Just got back from a 4-day class. And I'm realizing more and more as I teach classes and as I get older that my train of thought gets derailed pretty quick. I have a hard time keeping on the road and staying out of the ditch when I'm talking about stuff. I don't know if it's senile or if I just let things get derailed. Anyway, what I'm going to talk about this week, I've been looking at numbers and things over the last several weeks. And I'm glad we all got a 48% pay raise this year to go along with the 48% average increase in gas prices. I think looking at stuff that I'm one of those guys that never throws receipts away. I've got a pile of receipts here and there, and pile in the dresser. I got a drawer that's full of receipts. I got notebooks that are full of receipts. It could be an addiction. I'm not really sure, but it comes handy, or it comes in handy when you're looking at stuff like this. Milk has went up like almost 40%. It's one of those, what the hell happened to the cows? What happened to the cows? Goes back to Joe Biden telling everybody, well, if you can't afford gas, just use public transportation. I'm going to remember that next time I need to get on the bus and go from here to Ohio to teach a class. I'll just take public transportation. Oh my God. I hope this is not too distracting for you. It sounds like the... I don't know if that's my son running the lawnmower or not. I don't know if it is. I don't know who that is. Sounds like somebody running a lawnmower out there. Could be. I've got my door open in my shed. I've got 4 or 5 projects that I've got to get done over the next 2 days before I go back and do another class. And unfortunately, it's hotter than heck today. My mom used to say hotter than the hubs of Hades. I don't know exactly how hot the hubs of Hades are, but she usually reserved that phrase for really, really, really hot days, so they must be hot. I recommend lubrication. But the project I've got to do are out here in my man cave, and unfortunately they're all heat producing projects that I have to do. I have to make some concoctions for some folks that I sell them to, and I have to make cutting boards, and the laser produces a lot of heat, and melting beeswax and all that kind of stuff produces a lot of heat, and I may have to put myself on the night shift tonight and do all that stuff tonight, because I started it earlier and it's just too hot. And I already turned my fan off, so it wasn't distracting to the video. Sitting here sweating my cojones off. See there, I'm all international. I spoke Spanish. What else have I been reading today? All the illegal immigration stuff is still going on, and I don't understand the arguments for anything that's bad. So those folks are just looking for a better life. Well, why don't they make a better life where they're at? I mean, that's what we did. Just saying. There may be some call to action videos coming up in the future, because quite frankly, things aren't going the way they should go in the United States of America. But the problem with all of this is, you guys have heard me talk about it before, not enough folks will lockstep into a purpose because it's not convenient for them, and it cuts into their recreational enjoyment activities and times. It used to be if a business was doing something bad, people would just stop buying stuff from them, and they would get the point really quick. But now, unfortunately, we have enough of a customer base where a business is really not scared to alienate half of their customers, even if it's the half who have money to spend. All right, I'm gonna get down off my soapbox. This has been a multifaceted cigar and whiskey talk. I want to thank everybody who actually took time to send me messages, nasty or not, about the last video. Some of you are thinking, some of you aren't. We may address some of this stuff in the future. I got some really good ones. Really, only one nasty one on my public comments on the video. So, to those of you who had balls enough to post publicly, agree or disagree, kudos to you. For those of you who did not have the power of your own, enough conviction to voice your opinion publicly and sent me nasty messages privately, Shame on you. Have a nice day. Hope to see y'all in the woods, even though I'm not doing much woods video stuff. Sorry. All my friends are doing enough of that stuff. You don't need to see how I set up a hammock. Okay? You don't need to see that. Although you may hear in the future, because I'm getting more and more tired of being in the mainstream of society every single day. Not that I'm in the mainstream, but anyway, hope to see y'all in the woods. Thanks for your views. Thank you for your support. Click some of those links in the description box. That'll help the channel. This channel is still not monetized. YouTube doesn't like me enough for that. So, a couple of folks have donated money directly through PayPal. I appreciate that. I'm not encouraging anybody else to do it. I appreciate the ones who did. I'm getting to the point I'm going to have to cut a lot of expenses. But then again, it's not going to be all that expensive to be floating out in the middle of the ocean someplace on my sailboat. Talk to y'all later. See you in the woods. Bye.